where we line ourselves up on the online yards. Cover our dents, polish our paint, and clean our windscreens until you can almost see. Don't worry about that sound that's been there for years, and it doesn't affect the way I drive. And that crack was left by a girl that I keep forgetting to forget. And yes, there are kids in the boot, and I'm overdue for a service and a tune, and a long drive down to the beach. 'Cause you wrote that you like walking on the beach, whereas, well, I just wanna be with you. And oh yeah, the radio doesn't play the latest songs, and the GPS, well, he's always getting it wrong. And the interior light only seems to work when I'm trying to sleep, and then it gets right inside my bones. But I still drive over hills, and if you switch my heater on and wind my window down, you just might feel as I drive deep into your dark, like you're finally getting out of this town. Welcome.
Okay, I'm going to let Kelly introduce this before we bring in our other two guests. What are we doing here? This was your idea. The floor is yours.
Welcome, everybody, to the first Cafe Loved Up show. We're just winging it. We're open to your ideas. And
No, tell them what's the whole concept first. To anyone who's switched on and they don't know what we're talking about,
okay,
what's the show about? What are you trying to achieve?
So connecting people. We've found that when we go around different communities, there's a lot of lonely people there. There might be people in a town who've come together to meet with Michael and I when we come in, and they see other people in the same town and they didn't know that they're on the same page. And there's also a lot of singles out there. There's a lot of people these days who tend to live alone, dysfunction within families because of the system interfering in our personal lives. And a lot of people have become disconnected from their workplaces when they were sacked years ago. And what else?
Well, that's it. To show a perfect example, we a woman we had. What was that town we at this morning? Bremer or something. Anyway, we're at some town today, and the waitress suddenly went, "Oh my God, cafe locked out," and she was really lovely. And her whole family is with the agenda, so she is completely on her own. Works in the kitchen, just struggles to survive, but not even friends really much, just a few.
Yeah.
And so she's a perfect example. And we've got people of all different ages who don't feel connected, and yet when our community gets together, we're so close. So we thought maybe this is a fun way to bring some fun to our community. So we're not going to talk about the world today. The world can go fuck itself. We're actually going to talk about building relationships, having fun. And to do that, we're going to bring in two people who probably should get together, but they're friends at the moment, and they're both single, and we're going to see whether we can get either of them later. Hello.
Hi, Michael. Hi, Kelly.
I didn't know you were in the matchmaking business.
Great intro.
It's the matchmaking business. I'm just helping with the background. So yeah. I think it's a really lovely idea, though. Loneliness is huge in our community. I mean, the whole of Australia, but in our community, it's huge. People have been can't connect.
Yeah, I relate to what you said, Kelly, earlier on, that some people are in the same town. They don't even know that they're on the same page because they've always been hiding in the dark or being in the closet for themselves and going, should I say this or should I say that? But I think as time's gone on, I think we just end up just being when we stand in our power, we start speaking our truth.
Yeah. And then we attract those people out there who are aligned with our values.
True. Yeah.
I think too that we don't have the social network anymore of actually meeting up physically to allow the magic of people meeting up to work. A lot of us live online. We don't have these, not all of us, I mean, maybe people do, but a lot of these people, they don't go out. They don't, where'd you go? The supermarket. How do you pick someone up at the supermarket? You know, how do you know you align just by deciding what food they're putting in their basket or something? And
it's
where
funny
else
that it's sorry, but it's funny that you say that, because when I used to work in the railways and I used to finish work at midnight, I'd come home and go to the supermarket at 1 a.m, and there's all these women, and
Wow.
one of my friends go, "Hey man, you've got to go to the supermarket early hours of the morning to pick up the." I go, "What do you mean?" And I actually found this. I'm going, "What are these women doing out at 1:30 in the morning shopping?"
Wow.
It's really weird. That was like back in the 90s.
Yeah.
And I was really, what?
So did you pick up, Brian? That's the question.
No, no.
What did you take home from the
What
supermarket?
line did you use?
I probably spent a lot of time in one aisle and picking up a lot of the items in that aisle. But it's you know, look, I take my hat off to people that are on a dating app or whatever. I can't personally, because I'm from the old school. We're all from the old school, I think. You know, where you go to the pub or to a, you know, nightclub, wherever, you know, it's a social scene, and it's the best way to meet someone is to connect straight away. Because I feel that although I'm seeing someone's picture on there, how do I connect? You know?
Yeah. How does the magic happen?
Yeah.
The reason for tonight is we don't know how to. We have an idea of how to do it, but we're not Channel 9. We can't have a huge studio with a sliding door and 3 guys on stools and the girls ask them questions, or we can't see people on Bali. But what we can do is talk. And so the thing is to sort of get the people. This is our idea, but we're open to questions from the audience or suggestions that we get, say, 2 people on a show and we get them to talk. Well, how long you been single? Why are you single? What are you looking for? A friend or something? You want to add to that?
I'm just looking at this comment here. Depends on how you have your bananas. Yeah.
Now I know. I was listening to you two talk, and Michael kept saying, Kelly, you know, talk. And you said, I'm just reading the comments. And I'm sitting here just reading the comments.
I'm not reading the comments because that's too distracting for me. I mean, you know.
I want to know how you have your bananas. You know, I want to make sure that I'm not.
I don't buy bananas from a supermarket.
Is that I suppose is that banana mainly focused on men because of the way they dress, left or right, you know?
Oh, well, I always used to tell, if I was in a supermarket, you could tell by what they're buying. You can tell if someone's single or not by what they're putting in the basket, by the amount. You know what I mean? A woman who's got a family has a huge trolley full to the brim, you know, and a woman that's on her own has a little basket that's like a quarter full, and most of it is non-fattening, non-this, non-that, non-this, non-this, non-this. This is what I'm looking at, is seeing, and lots of chocolate, you know, pushed up to one side. So the other thing too is as you get older, what I found is life can get very hectic. You're constantly going. You sometimes lose the skills of flirting. And I used to have a thing when I used to go to supermarkets before you. I used to like giving. You'd see some woman going around, you know, she's like in her 50s or even early 60s or in that age when she's really busy like this and she's really frustrated, and you sort of standing there and she notices you and you just give her a smile, just a little extra long, that's all. And you see her go, and suddenly it's like she's a dither. And she's not a dither because I'm looking at her. She's a dither that someone is suddenly going, oh my God, I'm a woman. There's someone, there's a man, you know, you see it all the time. I used to do it just for fun. And they suddenly be mucking up when they're buying things. And I think it's because we forget we're sexual beings. I see a society now where the sex is like a rapid porn where you can go and look at any porn you want. But we're missing the banter between men and women of just having fun and getting on and flirting with each other. Like when we had you, Brian, on and you did wolf whistling, the women were going crazy saying, I wish someone would wolf whistle at me. You remember that?
Yeah.
They were nuts. It happened for 2 days. For 2 days, the women were talking about how they wish that would happen again. So it's really interesting, you know, where we've got to as a race. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just looking at Bring Back the Wolf Whistle.
So Leandra's going to come on. She's one of the people.
Somebody talked about putting their anklet on a different leg, and I actually remember
Yes.
that from my teens.
Yeah.
That was the thing, which leg you wore your anklet on. But maybe we need 2 different coloured bees.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe we have a blue bee like the native bee and the yellow bee like the honey bee.
Yeah, maybe.
What if we just get T-shirts made up, like single, available,
Desperate.
you know,
But you know, look,
your phone number on the back.
When I was
more. So go ahead, Brian.
No. So I was just getting back. So you were talking about how people mesh up, but when I was younger, you know, as a young virile man in their 20s, I thought foreplay was, you know, get it on. Foreplay is all part of the act, like the conversation, the music, the dinner, going to the beach, watching a sunset, you know, all that. That's all part of foreplay. That's the best part. And of course, you get the icing on the cake later, you know, if it happens. And we've lost that because everyone, like you said, Michael, is on their phone, on the computer. No one interaction is gone.
And this is not foreplay. Slide.
Yes, I know.
It's not foreplay. So I understand there's a man's missing. I don't know, but it's what we think with this show. If we get them on with a load of questions, I think it'd be like an interrogation. But if there's a 1 hour show with 2 people on, whoever they are, whatever they're looking for, if we get them to talk, then in the audience are watching them, and someone in the audience might go, I really like this person. And then we'll go email in and we just say, these are the people that have liked you, see what happens. And maybe a few weeks later come back and say, yeah, I actually, you know, I met up with this woman, or I met up with this man, whichever way you go, and let us know what happened. And not to sort of make it like sensationalism for getting hits. Let's just bring people together. We've have 5 or this is our 6th year now. A lot of us have been through brutal times, you know, kicked out of society, damaged, having to find real strength. A lot of us have grown from that and become better humans. And so we're in a right place to actually start meeting up with people and building a new community and getting love flowing again. Because the saddest thing that I find is the amount of people where one's on the agenda, one's not, and they simply can't make the marriage work. And those marriages are just collapsing and collapsing. We've had several people tell us today that their marriage has collapsed in the last year simply because of that. And so in response to that, it's like, okay, well, let's see if we can start new stories. Cal and I are a perfect example, you know, and we didn't meet on Tinder or anything like that. She was just trying to pickpocket money out of my suit.
I was trying to put money in your suit. Thank you very much. And he abruptly told me to go and give it to that young woman who can't get a kidney. So we just went from there. I thought, yeah, this guy's got some standards that I like. So anyway, but I already knew that. She was mistaken, but at first that's the marketing looked good. But this is what we are. So and I met another couple in what's that place, Harndorf? They came to meet me. They'd done it. They'd met at Epic. They'd lost everything. They were really despondent, but they found each other. And when I found them and interviewed them, they were really beautiful. They had a glow of them together. You know what I mean? And I don't know where they are now. I hope they're still together. But I think we're building a new community. And so these relationships within the community, the start of something beautiful. And I think that would be a fun thing to try do and still have some fun. You know what I mean? We've got Margie wants to come on. How old's Margie? She's a mature lady.
Good idea.
What is mature?
I don't know how old Margie is.
But she's randy and ready to go. She is. And
Margie is a lot of fun.
A lot of fun.
Margie, I love Margie. She's like someone who you want beside you at a cafe meet or a night out or the police station, wherever. She's just the bee's knees.
And there's a lot of people in the community. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Carmen.
I think there's something in the screen stuff because, you know, we have a really rockin' Let's group, local exchange and trading group. Like we've got 500 or 600 members. And I think, and it's been going 16 or 17 years. It's a lawyer on our page that does it, who's a keen economist. And I think that the secret for that working is the same as relationships. We have nowhere we meet anymore, like unless you go to a pub, and a lot of us just don't go to a pub anymore because
too expensive.
Well, it's too expensive, and we've already done that. You know, who wants to drink their life away anyway?
That's right.
So there, in the original lockdown sort of period, we were lucky because we had markets and fairs, and I had open mic nights, and we did all these things, and we met people. But then as people started to get complacent and say, oh, well, you know, we've got used to it now, we're making do, we're not worried anymore, or all of that stuff, and infighting, that stuff lost momentum, and we didn't have that connection with people that we resonated with. But everybody said at that point, the nicest thing about that lockdown and stuff and the choices we made was it gave us an immediate understanding of where people were at to begin with. You know, if they could think for themselves, they would be questioning. And that's a whole run of stuff that you used to wonder about when you met people gone, you know, but now we don't have meeting places anymore.
No, we don't.
Places that we had are gone.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Even the stand in the parks, we met someone the other day that said they'd started a stand in the park, but it had dwindled. And so we're meeting people who are very alone, but also people who really want to live. We meet, we went to Lightning Ridge. Who was that guy we stayed with at the castle?
Gaz.
Sorry, I didn't remember your name, Gaz, but you're amazing. He is so full of life. He'd love to have a companion with him. You know, he's
a grandfather.
He drove a grandfather. He drove a postie bike up to Darwin, and
cool.
You know,
wow!
He wants to seriously live. And we're meeting people of all different ages that want to start living now. And so getting them together, I mean, I could do what I'm doing in the bus alone. It's arduous, but I can do it. But with Kelly and I together, it's just gorgeous. It's just makes it so much easier, and it's natural. And I'm not saying we're hetero, but you know, even if you swing the other way, who cares? If you can find someone to mesh and get on with, because times are going to get harder. And I think the one gift we have from the universal gods for hard times is each other. That's it.
Yeah, totally.
And good friendships, which work just as well
as
relationships.
Our friendships as well. Maybe it's just meeting up as friends. You know, maybe there's like this, but it's just getting people together. And because the other thing that I notice, which I find remarkable, because we meet people everywhere, they just talk like crazy. That all that sort of awkward getting to know each other is just gone. This waitress today is just sitting with us. It's like we're related almost. And she's just chatting away.
We're on the same wavelength.
Oh yeah, because it's that really hunger. Fun. That hunger for connection. You know, that's the sad thing I see in all this is that the younger generation, like your kids and all that, you know, they get on the app. And they're not doing what we used to do. Go out somewhere and meet people. That's right. And it sort of puts everyone away, and it doesn't, you know, it's that touch, that feel, that smell, that connection, the conversations and everything. As I get back to, it's that, you know, that's how I met you guys. You know, look at the conversations Kelly and I had, and then we had gathering. Yeah, the beautiful. The gatherings are awesome. The 832 gatherings are just awesome. You know, look at all the people that you meet. It's just amazing.
Yeah, and so anyway, this literally came from Kelly because we're doing other things. She's been on about it for a while, and so this is her endeavor. But what you're saying, so it's not just about meeting relationships, but also friendships.
Absolutely, very important for friendships because relationships can be complicated, and you know people may have unresolved issues. Bit of baggage, and if you can just be friends with someone, you know, you have something good in your day, like you guys, you know, it must be a joy for you to hang out, you know, so it's positives, building positives in our day because we get so much bullshit thrown at us from social media, you know, and just life in general, you know, we don't have to go there, but if we can just now focus on what lifts us up, what makes us feel good, and raise the frequency, we're going to attract better things.
Yes.
Whereas if,
Yes.
yeah,
I truly believe in that. The lighter the frequency, the higher we're going to get. Definitely on that level. But, you know, I mean, Kathleen and I reconnected in our lives at crucial times with both of us going through our personal heartbreak journeys, but how we connected and we've supported one another. Like now, like Kathleen's my rock, you know, she's my bestie, and we just confide in one another, and we're just good mates, really good mates.
Wouldn't ruin it with a relationship.
No, yeah, that's right.
You know, but
well, they
me,
are tough, you know.
You know, a good friendship is somebody that will ring every now and then. Like I say to him, I could die and nobody would know, but you would know because he rings me.
Yeah.
And we text each other at least once a day, really,
once a day.
In general, just to say, hi, how are you? Have a beautiful day. You know, just
someone
nice.
to check in as well and make sure you're okay, because we've got so many loners out there, black sheep, people who are single, whatever the case is. There might be days that go by and no one checks in on this person. Like they might go to the supermarket for interaction or to a coffee shop and sit alone. But who's actually got their back if shit goes down, if the police, you know, decide to kick their door in and lock them up? You know, who knows about that? So,
well, you know, when I've gone through these legal battles with council, still going, that was the thing of, who can I get together who will stand here? Because imagine if 200 of us stood there when a council turned up on a property, what a difference that would make. But that energy isn't there. That, you know, that, okay, let's do it. Let's just rally. And even I've got space on my property right now for somebody to move in. And people are looking for places to live, but they're cautious, you know, so nobody's, I've put it out there on the Red Pill, and I've put it out there on Covision, and it's, you know, it's not, people go, yeah, that's great. But it's that nervous thing of how do we connect anyway? And who do we trust?
Yeah, it's strange, isn't it? It's sort of not as easy. The other thing that we're facing, and I know a lot of people in the movement have called me about it, is that initially after COVID, we found each other and we came together and we were all pretty close. But there's been a lot of division going on.
Yeah.
And so you have people who lost their, like you said, someone had called you up every few days. A lot of people had that before COVID. And then if they didn't go a certain way, they lost all those people. And suddenly they're alone. But then they found our movement, or like the Children of Epic, I call it. And suddenly, we had something better. We had these great people. And then suddenly when you got ostracized from that, that was even harder. Because like, well, what do I do now? You know, and a lot of us have faced that. I actually think a lot of it, the division, has actually been caused by paid people paid to divide us. Because I don't see any reason, motivation, why we would benefit from dividing when we're already a minority. And
we have a tendency to drama, you know.
We know of three. Yeah, but we know of three. We actually know of three that are doing it. And why wouldn't Dan Andrews pay someone $100,000 to go fuck up the group? Now, what I'm saying is, forget all about that. Let's start coming back together.
Yes.
We like each other. We know each other. We're on the same wavelength. We might have different views. Some are like flat earthers and some this.
Yeah.
But and now here, Karen K here. Hey, Karen. I find at my age, I would like a male companion to go to the theatre with, or just to go out. Exactly. You know, and stuff. This is why I think Kelly's idea is great. And it's just having a show every, say, Monday. That's really light, really fun. We leave the walls at the door and we just try to kindle some connections.
And let judgments go. You know, just let the judgments go. Because I find that in people often that they just don't like the way you speak, or they just, because we had a common enemy, and so it brought us all together. And we need to turn that around and say, we have a common good now. Why don't we focus on the common good and stop judging each other? We're not the same. We don't agree on everything. We don't have the same diet. We don't have the same
That's the beauty
lifestyle.
of you.
You know, we see the beauty in each other, and that's worth something. And I see the beauty in every person who is standing for themselves now. That's bigger than people understand. You are special because you think for yourself and you're curious and you're wondering. I think you're beautiful just for that. You know, you don't have to be beautiful looking. You don't have to have everything. You don't have to have all those things. I think people are beautiful in general when they wonder.
But when I look at
one, I'll just read this one out before you talk. This is Tani. Hi, Tani Blint. Wow, you are thinking what I've been thinking. I would love to meet my dude, but don't date at all because I'm not bold. I'd love to meet someone naturally, someone awesome to share life with. So, Tani, if you watch, we might get a guy because the guys are nervous. Like what you were saying about baggage before, I think it was you, Brian, but if you're at our age now and you don't have baggage, I don't understand you. If you've managed to get through to your 50s and you've got nothing in your wardrobe, nothing in your boot, I don't get it. Because to me, I see us all as like Tiranas. We've got a few dents, a few things, but we know how to drive it. It's okay. That's why I wrote that song. You know what I mean? It's okay, and it's saying like that. But we're getting to a point now where most of us know ourselves. Cartlin, you definitely know yourself. You're still learning, but around you, you're a person who's centered. I am me. You don't like me, your problem. I am me. Brian, you're the same. Kelly's the same. A lot of us is the same. So by getting people up here in a conversation, say with me or Cal or whatever, and people can sit there and look at them, they might have someone who reaches out to them and says, hey, love that conversation you had. And just start chatting and then see what happens rather than just a selfie with a swick and some bit of bullshit written there. You know what I mean?
So here we've got Colin.
Colin
this is
Holly.
King Colin from WA. He's absolutely beautiful. Ladies, Colin's at the ready.
If you're in your late 70s or 80s or even younger, if you like your sugar daddy, if you're in that age and you want to have someone in your life who's a wild child, that's Colin. Colin Holly was the first West Australian to be arrested for crossing the border coming back from Epic. I think he was in a blue Datsun. He had a hippie next to him who wrote him a song who he'd never met. And he crossed the border, got arrested at Norseman by huge amounts of police. He distributes the light. We call him King Cole. Amazing gentleman. Amazing gentleman. Absolutely legendary. You'll find him on our interviews. He's single. We got Dr. Pay is single. We got Dr. Oosterhouse can't meet anyone. Dr. Oosterhouse is just like a beautiful bear of a man.
Oh, man.
He's so incredibly great.
Everyone knows how good he is. He's so popular on here.
Yeah, he's a beautiful man. I mean, I listened to all your interviews with him. And
man.
He's amazing. Yeah, he is amazing.
You know,
I think,
And he would love. He's probably sitting there going, shut up, Michael. He would love to meet someone on some level and have this. And I think a lot of us would. It's nice. We're social animals, whether we like it or not. And not majority. Some of us might be some guys, but others aren't.
And we're tactile too, you know. So the human touch is very important in a lot of ways, you know. Like even just walking down the beach with just holding hands is enough, you know.
So Lynn Tanner wants to marry Richard. I'm guessing that's Richard Wollstonecraft or Richard Ford.
Richard Ford's married.
Richard Ford's done.
There's a big difference between those two.
Yeah, there is massive difference.
Central Victoria for the person who asked.
George Keswick is single, you know.
Oh, is he? Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's single. Yeah, he's separated because of, you know, the usual story. And he's single. And there's there's a lot of single guys we know, but they're gun shy, they're broken. They don't mind getting into relationships, but they're more terrified about how they get out of it afterwards. So they're very cautious about getting into them. And I think people don't realize the last 6 years, even though we just carry on now, we were ostracized. We've been called everything from anti-vaxxers to sovereign citizens. A lot of people get worn out by this. Their worth gets taken down, and yet they should their worth should be really high because they withstood a multi-billion-dollar propaganda machine and still here. They didn't fall for it. So they should be incredibly proud of themselves, and they're not. So, there's stuff like that maybe some of the guys, I'm just saying, some of the guys might need a little kind of tender touches to get them back onto the feet, making them feel like men again.
Colin's a comedian, isn't he?
I saw a comment on there that the guy said he's been single for 10 years and women scare him. But I think you got to look at people as people, not as male or female on that level.
That's right.
Because there's males out there that are just really bad and vice versa, so we're all human beings at the end of the day. And then that's how it works,
Can I say hello?
And I mean, it's and relationships that we go through and friendships are all part of this, the growing process of going beyond, and pushing your boundaries for yourself and also creating better boundaries for yourself too. And that's how I feel. And it's healthy. It's healthy. It's healthy to say no to people, It's healthy to say what you feel, but in a beautiful way to deliver it, not in a nasty way. But I think that's it's all part of learning. A lot of people, my past relationship I had years ago, people go, don't you hate women? I go, I don't hate women. I said, some of my best friends are women, And I'm going, no, it's they're people. We're people at the end of the day. So I mean,
we are.
I've had nothing but support from women, when I'm going through I love it, That's what I love.
Well,
sometimes I struggle on my own because I'm a woman. Sometimes because I have a property, and because I was fixing irrigation plumbing the other day. It's big. I have to dig the trenches to see what's happening. Thought it had shrunk and pulled apart. Find the parts, do it. See, there's a root. Have to dig it out, cut it out. And I think, oh God, isn't there a man that can help me with these things?
Not only a man that can help you, Cartman, but a man who not only a man who can help you, but a man who wants to do it. A man who goes, you cook me something, I'll do this for a man who does roles. There's
I could grind dinner tonight.
3 years. We're in roles. I do a lot of the cooking. She does a lot of the driving
and the cleaning up.
Yeah, because I'm a grot.
When he cooks, he's.
But so the difference is, but you find roles in there, and it's not just a man and masculine, male, female. It's just the different personalities fit different things. So you might find some guy, Cartman, who's very quiet, but would love to do that stuff and actually see your farm and come up with great ideas. You know what I mean? Without taking over, but wanting to help.
No, I'm quite. I can really celebrate the differences between men and women. I can see that men have it's a beautiful thing that they are focused. It allows them to cut through the crap and just do a job and not get distracted. And I know that we as women can go, oh yeah, I should do that. Hold on, I'll just do this. And I'm going to organize it so I do everything at once. There's a beautiful thing about it. And you've got more muscle. I'm not even going to pretend that you don't. You've got more muscle and more testosterone, which gives you the lift. There's no use pretending otherwise. So I think it's worth celebrating.
Perfect example. If the bus breaks down. If the bus breaks down, who gets under the bus to fix it?
Well, right now it's me, but
Well, in our relationship, it's me, but I love doing it. Kelly loves doing it, but I love doing it. And so I'm happy to do that. You know what I mean? But if she wanted to be a mechanic, go ahead.
I hand you the spanners and things.
That's true. You don't have to crawl in and out and in and out. That's
I really like the one where you filmed the snake.
Yeah, that was good. I like that.
Thanks, Brian. Moving right along.
That was so funny, man. Even then, the most beautiful thing about that snake incident, and this is why I actually think it happened. Our young men, the MSN covers them with shame. The West Australian had a big thing with a young boy on its cover, and it said, "How do we stop this boy becoming a monster?" Well, there we are with a huge snake under our bus. I had no idea what to do. I just hadn't I had the heart attack, so just the heart operation. So I was,
Yep.
and so here I am under the bus looking at this massive thing going, I don't know what to do. This beautiful young tradie. And I said, do you need any good with snakes? And he came over, didn't he? Had a
Yep.
stick.
Yep.
He spent 40 minutes under that bus prodding this snake.
Wow.
He didn't want his picture taken. He didn't want any accolades. Didn't want any money. He said, no, happy to help, and walked off. Beautiful young man.
Wow.
And this is who we should be celebrating, that we have this young man. And he did it with his strength, his courage. He was never scared. He was grabbing it, and the snake was going. He was incredible. I was in awe of him. And so to me, I've got great hope for the next generation. I don't think the ones I meet, like your daughter, Carlton, is beautiful young woman. You know,
is,
that
yeah.
interview I did with her, I talk about that interview a lot, where,
Yeah,
where
yeah,
she
yeah.
talks about that we've got no culture.
I really
know?
wish I knew unvaxxed males for her. I really do.
Yeah.
I really
Yeah.
wish there was a space where she could meet unvaccinated males.
I think
Of
there's a lot
course.
of young people out there as well, and they're scared to tell their friends or even have the conversation about their vax status through
Yeah.
fear of being judged or outed from their social circles, because the world is so new to them. They can't see around corners like we can. So I think we probably need to look at having some groups out there somewhere in the community for younger people, because you go to the stand in the parks or different groups and they're all around our age group, and you might see one young person who's been dragged along there by mum or dad or whoever, and there's no one there for them to talk to. So,
Well, they look like they're visiting a nursing home.
Yeah. So we need to, I don't know what to do for those guys. Maybe they can come up with an idea. Maybe they can have their own show or something like that.
Let's focus. Let's
All
be
right.
men and just focus on this, because we want to know how we're
Yeah.
going to do it.
Yeah.
And so we're looking for people. We've had about 12 people apply today through various things who are wanting to come on. So they are coming, and it's a few men and mainly women. And they're just like going, look, I'm single, I just want to go for it, and I don't know how to meet someone. One thing we have to talk about before we go there is this is not just for unvaccinated people. But one thing is there is a thing amongst unvaccinated people. They don't want to have sexual relations with vaccinated people. I'm sorry, but we're finding that across the board. This is something we're just going to have to be honest with. It's I met so many. And so we're not just going to be unvaccinated people, but people might have to be honest in what they're looking for. And it's that person's choice. You can't force someone to go with someone they don't want to be with. So this is something we'll have to take into account. But we just don't want to be the unjabbed. You know what I mean?
No.
And I think it works on the other side of the spectrum too. I think even the people that are being jabbed said, I won't go with anyone who's not jabbed.
Yeah, maybe.
Really?
Yeah.
Is there a word?
Yeah, I've heard that. Yeah, I've heard that. Like, I met a woman the other week, and she said to me, "Oh, I brought up the vaccine thing," and she goes, "Oh, yeah." She says, "Oh, I asked a friend of mine if I could just sleep in his bed, and he goes, you're vaxxed." He says, "I don't want you in my bed."
Yeah.
So,
well, I actually pondered that, because people have woken up post one, or they had to get one, they felt they had to, or whatever. And I've always thought, well, some of those, I know that some of those were placebos. I know that some of those had no effect.
Yeah.
I can see that. And so I just thought, we'll just do a live blood test and have a look. But, maybe I've got stuff in my body from things, and maybe everybody does. Because if you're out eating meat at restaurants, well, you've got the vaccine in the animals. So, who knows who's free of whatever now.
what about the chemtrails?
What about the chemtrails?
Yeah, that's
What
right.
about
This
everything?
is the thing, but it's at the same time too. This is going to be personal, person by person. You know what I mean? And I know there's one prominent content creator. I won't say his name, but he'd met someone who was jabbed, and he adored her. He said, "I'm in real trouble. She's vaccinated. It goes against my things, but I adore her." So I don't know if they're still together, but it was interesting that love was sort of building the bridge over prejudice. You know, so who knows what can happen? We don't know.
Yeah.
It's the
I
same
mean,
as like. Go ahead.
Yeah, I've got some friends that have been vaxxed, and I mean, I dearly love them, you know, male or female, you know,
Yeah.
and they've woken up. Yeah, so there shouldn't, and I think that this vax and unvaxxed thing is another divide, another created divide.
Totally agree. Yeah.
I think it's not an emotional thing for me. It's purely a health thing. You know, but you know me. I'm the extreme of healthy people, really. You know, I take care of my health. And so it matters to me what goes in or out of my bodies, quite literally. So that's where my interest is.
I'm just going to add it to Denise. Denise, at 9 p.m., the What the Fuck Boys are coming on. So they're coming on at 9 p.m. They've got someone from Venezuela coming, and the Cardi Girls are off till the 27th. So we're just filling in at the moment with these shows. And this is to pilot new ideas, because I think our community needs fun. And that's what it is. So yeah, it's a really interesting question of what you said, Carlin, about, you know, there's vaccines and everything, and is it just prejudice? If someone had it 5 years ago and they haven't any side effects or anything, well, maybe there's nothing wrong with them. Maybe they took the placebo. You know,
do a live blood test. Have a look.
Yeah, and most of us, I don't want to do one, because everyone I've met who's on our side has had a live blood test has corrupted blood.
Yeah. So maybe we don't need to worry anymore. That's what I mean. If we test ourselves, maybe we actually don't need to worry anymore.
That's right.
Yeah.
I truly believe in that. I mean, I'm going back to that frequency thing again. You know, if you know your body quite well, you know it when something's wrong, you know?
Yeah. And the other thing, though, is not so much physical, but if you've got true believers, a true believer that Albo's a great prime minister and we should still be mandating vaccines and all that, they're not going to stand much of a chance with people from our community.
No.
They're too separate. It's the ideology of it, you know what I mean? But if you're out there and you're thinking that basically everything seems to be a lie, well, one thing that isn't a lie in a world of lies is the connection between people.
Yes.
You know, is this heart and spiritual connection. That's the truth. You can feel it. And then it's up to one of them to betray it, but that's the truth. So I think that would be very healing to get in really strong friendships. And I think our community, the way we've held each other the last 5 years or 6 years now, and what we had at Epic, where we really came together and showed that together we glow, it's time to reignite that glow. And we can do that couple by couple or friendship by friendship and start healing us. You know what I mean? It's I think it's a really positive thing.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I noticed when we put. Sorry, you go, Brian.
No, I just love the old romance. You know, I'm a Leo, but I just love romance. I mean, I've got so many romantic moments I'll share with you. You know,
one day.
No, I can share. Sorry, what was that? No,
I'm not into romance at all. I'm a meat and veg guy. Yeah,
I love romance. I love candle. I do candlelight dinners for myself. You know, I just.
No, I'm with you, Brian. I love romance. I love romance.
I love it. I love it. I remember. Can I just quickly share something with you? I remember this girlfriend of mine that I was with for 8 years, and I moved up to the country and we left, but we were still seeing one another, and it was her birthday, so I invited her up to my property, and I got a lady that I knew locally, that Zanya, who plays harp. So what I did was I set up the lounge room with a table and candelabras and everything, and I got her to hide behind the door with a harp. And when she walked in, when the woman we were sort of just breaking off anyway. When she walked in, it was her birthday. I blindfolded her and I said, "You got to sit down." And she could hear this beautiful music in the background. She goes, "Oh my God, that's so beautiful, that harp." And she had it back towards the lady. And and then we just sort of poured a drink, and I said, "Oh, happy birthday." And she goes, "Oh my God, that music is amazing." I said, "Oh." I said, she says, "It sounds like it's really close." I said, "Yeah, it is." I said, "Have a look." She turned to me, "Oh my God, there's a harp player in there behind the door playing the harp." It was such a beautiful time, like it's all that spontaneity, and you just go for it. And I love romance. Even have romance with myself. You know, why not?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I do. I love romance as well. I really do. It's
You know,
I
watching
even think, to be honest, romance. I actually think I love the fact of being able to woo a woman.
Yes.
You know, now you men can't do it because they're terrified of being called a stalker or something like this. But when I used to
Yeah.
work in nursing
sad.
homes as a young writer, an unpublished young writer, I used to talk to old people all the time. What was the most beautiful thing you ever saw? All the old women said babies. Every single one,
Oh,
even
right.
if they're in dementia, they'll go, "What's the most beautiful thing you ever saw?" And remember, these women have gone from stagecoaches. Some of them, when I was looking after them 30 years ago, they still remember stagecoaches. They've seen everything in
Wow.
the modern world, babies always. And then you'd meet these other women. I go, "So how'd you meet your husband?" He goes, "Oh, he chased me for all of summer, and I
Wow.
finally said I'd go out on a date." Together 50 years. I
Wow.
actually think this is the way a woman is. You know, in the animal kingdom, the men do the thing, the
Yeah.
birds do all the fluffing around, trying to get the woman's
Yeah.
attention. I think if a man woos a woman over a period of time, I know this will be controversial. I think the woman is testing him to see whether he just wants a quick shag and be gone, or whether he's really interested.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's in older times, but in younger times, I think that's what it is. And once she goes, okay, I can control this guy. I know how to work him. I've got him down pat. I can build a life on this guy. And that's where I found all these people who had these extraordinary long relationships. All of them, none of them were quick. All of them told me they'd spent a long time with the man wooing her before they'd finally come together. I thought that was
Mm.
beautiful. And yet now it'd be
Yeah.
seen, oh, he's a stalker. He's a sleaze. You know, you don't take
Yeah.
no for an answer, you know?
You know,
Yeah.
I have a son, so I've watched this emasculation of men over these last years with some degree of horror, you know, because I love a man. I like them to be able to fix an engine, and I like to be able to pamper them, and, you know, sadly I can do a lot of things anyway. I'm good with a chainsaw, you know. I'm quite a capable woman because I've had to be, and because the men that have been in my life, or the last man that was in my life, was useless at all things, you know, other than a computer. And that made it really hard. It meant that I had to be all of these things, and the cook and the bottle washer and the, you know, I would really happily step down from some things. I'd really happily step down. Yeah.
Kelly is incredibly competent because of her life. She's had to be single mum and stuff like that. She can do everything. But I think she loves not doing some of that stuff now. And I love doing it.
I'm really loving being in a male-female partnership and watching him do these manly things and feeling like I'm protected in a way. You know, like if there's a noise outside and things, he'll spring up and I'll just think, be still, my heart. Like, whereas before I'll be, where's the axe, or, you know, thinking of ways that I can defend myself or my kids or whatever the case was at the time. But now I've got someone at my side and I am able to be in my femininity and be soft, and I really love it.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
And I want that for others too, but it comes with friendships as well, and building community and other ways of being supported.
And as a man too, if you've got certain roles that you do, like the cooking or the fixing the bus and other things like this, you feel, I wouldn't say the word, but you feel comfortable in your lane. I know where I am in this relationship. I'm not just here. I actually bring some worth to the relationship, and so does Kelly do the other side. You know what I mean? So there's a balance. I love it. It's kind of a really old-fashioned couple that way, but it's so sweet.
But I'm also loving all the pics you're taking of Kelly, you know, with her dresses and stuff. It's so elegant, you know. It's an amazing.
It's romantic, Michael. It's romantic.
Thank you. And the person of that is when I'm out there watching. It's like there's like a uniform. A lot of the people traveling Australia, they got exactly the same van. It looks like this metal Mad Max thing. It's all the same van, 4-wheel drive, all exactly the same, and they all dress the same. And the women, no offense to the women, most of them wear these 3/4 pants and big T-shirts. And I'm thinking, why can't we be attractive? Everything Kel wears out there, and this is how she normally dresses, is from an op shop. And we've got this beautiful country, and you know, she's a mature woman now. She's not 20, but she's still beautiful. And there's the beauty comes out, not just the features, it's the beauty and the elegance, it's the beauty of a great and so we're photographing her like she's never been photographed, and I love it. And so we're taking these extraordinary photos, and we're doing them all on a $250 camera with a broken screen. So all these shots are op shop clothes, which cost about what, $10 max?
We get them as cheap as we can. We like $1
bargain bin.
A bag for $5 are my favorite op shop.
So we get to some night place, and she does the dress up for what she's wearing, and now so we get somewhere and we just go, oh, you know, that'll suit that dress, and we just do it for the fun. But it's to show people, we're at this age now, why can't we still be attractive to each other?
That's
okay,
right.
We're not attractive to a 20-year-old, but damn, we're attractive to each other. Why can't we be?
That's
and,
right.
And live life to the fullest, right to the end. And you see it sometimes. Sometimes I see a woman in her 80s, and there's an elegance to her. There's this, or a man the same.
Yes.
I admire it. I think, yeah, wow, baby. Yeah. I've even got a theory that the reason our eyes go, you know, well, it's hard to read. We all need glasses to read. I think that is to enable us to have sex with each other as we get older, because it's like soft focus. You can each other go, hey, you look really good, babe. Yeah, you look good too. You know, it's like the John Collins effect. You know what I mean? So I think nature has made it to us, and it's fun. And to be honest, that after the heart attack, everyone's saying, you okay? You okay? You okay? Once the plumbing was fixed, and some parts of me came back to when I was maybe about 25. We've been having a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Yeah. I'll leave it there, but I'm actually got to the point now where I'd recommend having a triple bypass just to get the oil flowing. And
I think it's the near-death experience, really. Jennifer just said she's made you more beautiful too. There's nothing like a near-death experience to make you value life and what's around you.
That's 100. I tell people now, every second, I love being alive now. I love it because I realize it's finite. And why am I ruining this day doing nothing? Let's fill it with something. And that also makes for life worth living. We've got ourselves into this thing of huge mortgages, huge bills, car payments, we're so trapped and like debt slaves. Why are we here? Maybe it's a time that as a community, we all start reevaluating. Why are we here for? Are we really here just to work like slaves and pay bills?
Yeah.
Or are we here to have an experience with life? And what better way to experience life than to have something, to look at something incredible and turn around and share it with someone? I mean, Kelly and I, one thing we have in common, which is bizarre, is dead trees. We like
dead trees.
We like birds of prey. We drive along going, look, eagle, hawk. And then we love dead trees because they're like works of art.
As long as they're not painted blue, right?
Yeah, those ones, they paint the ones blue.
Oh, yeah, we've seen them. Yeah.
Oh, so that distresses me.
About each other, you know. I mean, imagine you put that on your Tinder file. I like dead trees and birds of prey. Okay.
No, but I feel what you're doing for everyone. I mean, as you said, we're playing around with it, but you're going to fine tune it into something that everyone will be adaptable to, you know, and it's going to be like the old way, like how we're talking to one another on screen. That's better than just flicking across or whatever.
Well, let's look at you, Brian. What would you like romantic wise? So we know you like romance. You've already got that out of you, so we don't have to answer a question there.
And he's a Leo.
You love romance. You love being alive. You're a Leo. You're great fun.
Wide awake.
Yeah. And Carlin, even in this conversation, people could have picked up what you're looking for. You're very competent. Yeah, you're very clever. You're very creative.
Brilliant cook.
But at the same time, you'd like to have a big guy around. A guy, you know, you'd like to have a guy around who could, you know, help and just make life.
Yeah.
Make
not
life
me. I don't want a man. I want a woman. I don't want a man.
Well, there you go. There you
go. But for me, it's connection and spirituality. Really, it's that big connection with spirituality. very
Yeah.
important, the spirit part of things for me, you know.
Me
Yeah.
too.
Not meaning like, I mean, I was raised as, and Michael, you and I know, raised as a Catholic, so
Yeah.
we don't want that sort of doctrine, but
No.
just that connection on a spiritual level, like talking about frequency, that people go, what do you mean by going up high in frequency? No, we all get it, you know. But
Yeah, we
but
do.
that whole thing for me, yeah, definitely the connection, and someone that you can get along really well with conversations and not have to hinder anything, you know. It's
Yeah.
as we get older, we get wiser too, and we have all vast arrays of conversations that we have. So it kind of changes from 10 years ago to what it is now, especially what all of us have been through. You know,
Yeah.
all of us come through the other end. So we're quite,
Yeah.
I find that all the people in the last 5 years that have come through the other end, they're really strong within themselves. So, I mean, I
Yes.
see, personally, I see the strength between you and Kelly, and I
Yeah.
see it growing more and more because, you know, I know you
Yeah.
personally. So I see that, you know, and friendship with
Yeah,
us is, I don't have to ring you every day or anything. I might even speak to you once a
No.
month or maybe once every 3 months. But that's what friendship's
Yeah.
about. It's about
Yeah.
the connection. And it's the same thing for me. You know, like the old days, people used to go, oh, you didn't call me, and I text you. I don't want that. Needy.
No.
Needy. No.
No.
The other thing too, I mean, you know, you can get competent, you can do everything yourself. You get, I don't need anybody. And fair enough if you like that way. But there's something beautiful about sleeping with another human being.
Totally.
I mean, after the sex, I mean, just sleeping. There's something
Yeah.
beautiful about waking up and there's this person next to you and you're up against them and you've got through the night together. It's really lovely. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just adore it. Spooning, you know, I don't ever call it spooning because I actually see the spoon, but it's great, you know. But it's who'd call it spooning? I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Spooning
yeah,
when you lie back to front.
maybe.
You fit in.
What's that called?
Yeah.
It's how spoons fit together. You fit
I can
into
fart
it.
in high frequency, says Simon.
Yeah.
I actually am. I think one of the things that I wanted to be, and I am, is I'm also content on my own. And I think
Yeah,
that's
That's
a
healthy.
really important place to start
Yeah.
with. Because
Yeah.
if we're not content on our own, we're looking for somebody to fill a hollow in us, and we're not really hollow. Nobody's
No.
really got any hollow.
No.
We want to love ourselves so we can just share the loving rather
Yeah.
than, you know. And Brian and I both celebrated when you two said you were getting hitched. And before that, we even celebrated that you'd actually started saying how fabulous Kelly was and how much you loved her. And we thought, yes.
Yes.
What about you guys? We're a couple, you know, like
Yeah.
let's
Yeah, be
talk
proud
about
of each other. It's so nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
Well,
it's
where it
beautiful.
really happened, we actually did a furphy
Right.
because when I actually asked her to marry me was after I had my second heart attack in the hospital. I had a second heart attack and I came really close to the edge. And so after I had the first one, Kelly was the reason I hung around because I was in a lot of pain for a long time. Even when I was at your place, Carlin, I was in a lot of pain. I just wasn't telling anyone. And but there was no reason really, you know. Part of me was exhausted by life. You know, a lot of people say, "Oh, you're doing great," but I was hearing all these sad stories, and there was all the baggage that I was carrying, and all the loss and stuff. I was worn out. But after I survived the first one, I remember looking down, and there was Kelly, and I thought, "Yeah, I want to hang around. I want to travel with her." But that a few days later, after the second heart attack in the hospital, we were just there, and she was so there, and she was so with me spiritually, just absolutely connected. It was like having a guardian angel.
You're a
And I
beautiful
asked
woman,
her then,
Kelly.
yeah, she is. She absolutely is. And so I asked her
So
then.
you
So we
guys.
sort of knew for months, and then officially we decided to let it out. But
That's
and we're
beautiful.
only here. We were at a ghost town the other day. There was books strewn in these rooms. There was old beds. All the humans were gone. No actual pictures of whoever was there. And it just made me think, we are so finite. We'll be gone. The destination is the moment you're in. These are the destination. There is no destination of you're here, you're alive now.
Yeah.
How do you make the most of it? And one way to make the most of it is to share it with someone, you know.
Yeah.
And they're out there. They're out there looking for you. We've just got to help in ways that they can find each other in a community that's constantly divided, you know.
Yeah. Well, these people that send messages, you know, the bloke who said he's a farting gorilla. I mean, somebody's bound to love you.
Simon O'Rourke.
But, you know, I mean, they can
I
talk
reckon
to
he's
each
a
other.
romantic, to be honest. I really do.
Sorry?
He's saying, I got a feeling he's a romantic. He's just hiding it under fart stories.
Yeah.
Oh,
Could
yeah.
be.
There you go, Alexander Sexton. That's a great name for your surname. That's you got to live up to that, brother. Being single in your 50s is hard. Well, Alexander, maybe you should think about coming on, brother. See if we can find you someone.
Yeah.
You know, my farts don't smell. Jennifer Zalm.
Hi, Jen.
That's impressive.
Well, you'd be getting.
I actually looked. My daughter was on some dating sites for a short while before she realized that it was just a sham. And in that period, she said, "Mama, there must be dating sites for you." And we found these two sites, which they didn't last for me either. One was a spiritual singles site, and one was an unvaxxed site. But you know, it was such an empty feeling and a really bare sort of feeling, because like you say, I like dead trees and birds of prey. Like, you can't tell anything about me by little bits and pieces. You can't tell my integrity, you can't tell my determination, you can't tell my love, you can't tell any of those things from little snippets of information. You can only tell them by hanging out, you know, or talking regularly, or braving up and sharing bits, and you just can't tell anything on those apps.
And you're very intuitive too, Kathleen. You're very intuitive. So I would find a meeting, you know, with you would be reading the person as well as tuning into them, because it's not an app that you can go on and just, you know, what someone wants you to think about them. It's actually being in their energy field, in their comfort zone, you know, and being authentic. So you would know pretty well straight up, I think, whether someone's the real deal or...
Well, you know, I have been suckered before, though, mind you.
You're human, honey. We all have.
Yeah. I do believe that being suckered is about that need to be loved, and being so desperate to be loved that you will ignore the signs around you and things. So
yes.
Told you, Simon O'Rourke. I was the most romantic and full of passion. It's been beaten out of me.
Oh, Simon.
No, Simon.
No, Simon. Sorry, you're just a beautiful soul still.
What are you doing on the single show then, Simon?
Simon needs to just
I have
learn
to admit,
fall in love with
can I say
himself.
something? We posted a picture. This is what I love about our community too. I think we've got to bring back humor.
Yeah.
Simon O'Rourke, Jason Cornick is one of our funniest commentators. He's fucking fantastic. But yesterday, Simon set the standard, because did you see the picture of me and all the Florence mechanics in the bikini?
No.
Oh, here, I'll show you. I'll see if we get it up. So, in support of Albanese, we decided, and then Topher posted an image of him in why won't this work?
Not a
Posted
man
picture of him in a bikini.
Oh my God.
And so I said, that's brilliant of Topher. Can we do the same? And we were looking for pictures, and we found this one. And then we had to put us in bikinis. Here we go. So there we are. Now, unfortunately, Michael at the back is not that happy about it, but the rest of us are laughing about it. But
oh my God!
Simon yesterday, there was loads of comments, and everyone was hilarious in what they were saying. But what did Simon say? He said,
"Not
the proudest wank I've ever had." not my proudest wank. So funny. And that's what I think we got to bring back. Imagine if the rest of the community that's just walking around like they're lost, here's this community laughing and enjoying and loving life. That's how they'll come to us, not by banging on about the truth and this, but actually coming just because we're actually celebrating being human beings.
That's right. Being authentic. I mean, take all this COVID bullshit out of the equation. Let's just be authentic with one another and celebrate each other and be completely ourselves. And if we're not accepted for that, well, then we're not in the right circles.
Yeah.
I also want to say, Sam and I work a lot on our relationship. It's not easy. We work a lot. Both of us have damage. Both of us have learned traits that maybe we're not used to, as every human does. Be honest. Come on. You're authentic. How often do we work on it? I think it's
part of the beauty of being in a relationship is having deep conversations, being patient with one another, and really learning about yourself as well, and observing yourself, observing your thought processes, which turn into feelings, which act out in behavior. You know, we're all responsible for it. And if we don't learn from that, we don't evolve. We stay in the same spot. And then I think it just becomes more like a sad case. And there's no fun in a sad case. So if we can learn from one another and support one another and be patient and loving and kind and grow together, then we've got something really special. And that's what Michael and I have got to date, because we have done the hard yards. It hasn't been easy. It's been like a roller coaster ride for a lot of it. But I think it's made us stronger.
I think that's also because at our age now, we are who we are, and we're very defensive about changing. It's like, hey, I've taken 60 years to get to this person. But then you've got to realize, well, I'm not really changing. I'm learning what I'm willing to, how would you say, sort of meld with someone.
We compromise.
So, yeah, a little bit, but not hugely compromised, but what I can change, and then just allowing the other person to be free to be themselves. Because what's the point of being with someone if you're only with them because you want to change them to who you think they should be? Isn't the trick to find someone who you just go, you just be you? Yeah. I just want to be around
acceptance.
You know? Yeah. And I'll accept whatever comes. So still learning. At our age, we can still learn about love. And I think that is it. Getting in not to just be with someone, but getting to learn about love, because through learning about love, you learn about yourself. Yes. And we've all been on a 6-year learning curve about ourselves. We found out how resilient and strong we are. Now I think we can continue to grow. You know?
What were we going to say, Kaufman?
I think that anybody that comes into your life is a gift.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, anybody that comes in your life on any level, on a friendship level, on a altercation level, on a loving level, anybody is a gift. And as soon as we know that, as soon as we know, this person's got something for me, then we can start to really celebrate every person we meet. And somebody that we're loving, we're certainly not going to judge them, because why do we want them to be like us? We've got shit to learn. You know, I want to learn from other people.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. You know?
Yeah.
Like I was talking to, say, one great person I've met on the thing is Bill Lober. But all of the group that are around Bill Lober too, all the same. I love them, all those guys. But Bill got rid of my fear of mechanics. And he taught me when doing mechanics how to stay calm and not just yell and scream and call just carry on. Because he said it's not going to help, it's not going to fix it. And so now I drive this bus and I can hear it and I know what's wrong, or I can sense what's wrong, or I know who to go to find out and I can try to fix it. That gives me a great sense of, not accomplishment, but how would you do it? Independence. I'm not at the whim of the world. I mean, the bus is probably going to break down tomorrow just to prove me wrong. But that's what, and I've learned that from another man who's incredibly knowledgeable and wise about life, but mechanics, and taught me that. And now the Bill is working on, just pitch this too, because I'm going to start pitching it. He's actually working on buses like ours. So if you want to live in a bus, you can actually go to Port Macquarie and Bill will actually make it a livable bus for you. not for free. You have to pay, but he's going to do an extraordinary job. How you want it done, and you can stay there. We call it Fort Bill. You can stay there with these great guys, having a lot of fun, and actually having your bus done. I could see buses lining up like crazy to get done there, because living on the road like this now, people say, when are you going back to work? When are you going home? We are home. This is like a snail shell. We can do our work, our podcasting. Like now, we're sitting on the bed in the bus. We can do it from, and we'll podcast from anywhere. So why do we have to be somewhere fixed? If we want to podcast about Australia, well, why aren't we out there seeing and experiencing in Australia? And we travel now at about 70 k's an hour. 70 k's an hour. That's how we go, just puttering along, going, oh, let's take a picture of that and this, and we're loving it. And that's what we bring to the products we create. You know what I mean?
Someone wants to ask a question here, Michael.
Does Bill wear his green bikini when doing car mechanics? Yes. And he's got this light thing it's like, it's one of these. And he keeps that in his G-string at his back when he's necessary, and he pulls it out and lights things up. It's extraordinary to watch.
Anyway, so getting back to the reason why we're here, everyone. How are we going to do this? How are we going to present singles to the community and connect?
My feeling is that we do it like this. We interview people and we just let them talk. We just let them be themselves, and then we gently, over an hour, half an hour each, sharing it, discover who they are, and maybe themselves will come forward and say what they're looking for. And then if anybody's watching, they've got a half an hour or an hour to look at this person and go, I really like them. Maybe they don't, or maybe they might have a friend who goes, no, I've got a friend who'd really like this.
Right.
And they could show it to them. And so this is it. It's the art of conversation. So it's kind of like Matchmaking Monday. It's probably a good name. Matchmaking Monday. That's actually a really good name. Sorry.
Yeah, that's a good Matchmaking Monday.
We'll have to find this out later.
Thanks, I'm not allowed to say the name I wanted.
What do you like, Kelly?
I like Loved Up, but anyway, each to their own.
Well, it's her show.
You're already loved up, that's why.
Yeah. So some people have been sending emails in, and also in the comments of the advertisement that we put up for the show, people were hooking up in the comments, and we've had quite a few emails come in, people wanting to come on the show. So what we've identified just from going out and being amongst people is that there are a lot of women out there. There seem to be a lot of single ladies, and probably not as many men, or not as many men showing up to gatherings, or maybe, look, I don't know what the ratio is.
I think the men are shyer. I think, to be honest, a lot of the men, like Simon said, a lot of the men feel beaten and they're broken. That's the truth. They're broken, and they just feel nobody would want them anyway. They feel broken in themselves. I know lots of men like that. So we might have to be gentle with these guys. They actually might. And I'm telling you, you can go to, if you're a broken guy and you're feeling worthless, you can have 10 years worth of antidepressants. You can have all the psychotherapy you want, but none of it will heal you as quick or as fast as a woman who wants to be with you. That's the truth. You find a woman who likes you, wants you to be you, and wants to be around you, fuck off the antidepressants, fuck off everything else. You've just been accepted by a woman. And that's what I really, really believe. And I think they've broken down the men, the emasculating, and I think they've carefully, or maybe, I don't know if it's on purpose or involuntarily, but we've got this divide amongst us that's very hard for a lot of people to bridge, and so they don't even try. So they wait there for some magical hope that something would come along. A perfect example, and I'm only saying this because she's not watching, is my sister. My sister is an extraordinary looking woman. I remember when I used to go out to her in bars, I'd leave her at a thing going, why aren't the men flocking to her? Look how gorgeous she looks. And because they didn't, she felt that she didn't have any worth. And then one day, this big fella, Bill, big, handsome, with a bit of a John Wayne swagger, came into a real estate office, and he looked at her and he bent to someone and said, "Who's that?" He's single. Bang. They've been married ever since, happily married.
Oh, wow.
So she had to finally wait for the magic, but it did happen. But what I'm saying is, it's like helping. It's like helping with that. And it's life's so short. So why not take a chance? You might come forward and go, yeah, I would like to meet someone. And it might not be perfect. It might not be, I don't know. But it's worth trying. It's worth trying. There's more benefits to it than this.
It all comes down to that whole thing of, I suppose, self-love, you know? Because once you're giving yourself self-love, then others can see that in you, and you attract that same person, you know, that's self-loving themselves too. And and I feel that's that whole, and you know, men and women are in that situation where they just go, oh no, I'm too shy, I can't do it. But I think it's just like what you said, Michael, humor's the best thing, you know, humorous. And why not just hook up with someone and just have a chat? There's no harm in it. There's no harm at all.
Do you know, there's you know, I do farmers markets, as you know, probably.
Carbon dating.
And when I'm giving tasters, because I have to give tasters of my food, otherwise people wonder how it could actually taste good when it's just made from without sugar and gluten and things. Mostly it's the women who try. Very rarely the men will try my food. And I'll offer it to them. And these days I say, will you try? And if a man tries it, I say, good on you, because the men often don't. And I think it's great when you try. Or, you know, I'll offer, the men will more likely try something that's got chili in it or something that tests their bravery. But the men will rarely try the food. They'll wait for their wives or their partners or their girlfriends to try it. And then they might take a bite from them, but usually they just say no.
Well, do you know, interestingly, I actually think some men like that. Some men like being the stand back. It's a protector thing. I know it's bizarre and ancient, but they are. I see a lot. If you look in supermarkets, you'll see some woman walking around, look at all the shopping, and the man's behind her pushing the trolley. But in a way, he's kind of content there. You know what I mean? If anything happens, he'll be there. He'll lift all the shopping in. He feels necessary in her life. And a lot of men, they just want to feel that they're slightly necessary in someone's life. And if it's a woman, then that's beautiful. You know?
Well, I actually think all you men are necessary, full stop, whether you're in my life or not. You know, men are a necessary thing. You know, it's just the truth. Men are necessary.
Ooh, someone's here. Look. Someone, it's already happening.
Oh, there's been heaps happening.
Denise is cracking on the Jade. Who's Jade?
And you guys are getting darker, and I think the What the Fuck show is going to be on soon. So.
Oh yeah, we got to go. We got to go. So this is it, guys. We're starting next Monday. We're going to have 2 people on. We're going to get to meet them, and then we're just going to see what happens from there. Okay.
Yeah.
So
that's
feel
great.
free to apply. We're just going to put up the things now. It's Kelly.
Kelly, perhaps the audience could send you some important questions they would like to ask the guests.
Absolutely.
And you could pick some to ask.
Right.
That sounds great. Thanks, Kathleen.
That was from Karen Bloom.
So you're at the farmers market whereabouts, Kathleen, in case someone wants to come up and try some.
Castlemaine Farmers Market once a month, and the Castlemaine Farmers Market once a month, and the Lansfield Market once a month.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's it. Kelly at cafelockdown.com. It's actually a Proton email, and meet it there. We're all going to set up a Telegram channel, and Kelly will manage to do that, so you could probably get stuff and things through that. So we'll just keep you involved as we're going. We're just working it out.
Yeah.
But thanks for coming on and being great guests. This was really
happy to be your test cases.
Yeah, thank you so much. Beautiful. Love
and
you
if
guys.
anyone wants to meet these 2, contact us and say, you know, I want to meet Brian, or you know,
he's a really good man.
Oh, he's a brilliant man.
Good woman.
He's gorgeous. Yeah, both. Yeah. So get in touch with us and just say, look, I'll get in touch and we'll put you in touch. See what happens.
And if you want a chicken curry, I can cook one for you.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, everyone,
Thank
for
you.
coming on. And the comments have been phenomenal tonight.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well,
Very
congratulations to
distracting.
you
Love them.
for coming up with the idea and pushing it that we're here.
Well, thanks
Yeah,
for having me
beautiful.
on, Mr. Griffith.
Yeah,
Yeah.
beautiful.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we should have some fun this year.
Let's have some fun.
Yeah.
Let's have some fun this year. It's going to be hard. We know everything's hard. Let's have some fun and be humans within it. Let's enjoy
Yeah.
as much
yeah.
as we can. You know, it's a
Let's
way
be.
of fighting back. And we're going to go out with "Be Free" because we can't find
Oh,
any other
beautiful.
song.
Yeah, I love this song.
All right.
Love you guys.
See you guys.
Love you guys.
See everybody.
Bye.
See you
Bye.
tomorrow
Thanks.
with Michael
Ginsburg.
Ginsburg tomorrow as he talks about moving forward with the freedom movement. Take care.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he's a good one.
Historically,
I like this one.
we are the debris,
Have you got any?
forgotten faces, never more to be. Instead of legends fighting for something that had no guarantees, living ghosts we chose to live and die as their worker bees. Why didn't we break out from their hide? Why didn't we follow our own sun to another life? Why didn't we scroll over all their flowers? Brothers and sisters, it's okay to be free. Brothers and sisters, it's time to be freedom of movement, freedom of thought, freedom to choose, freedom to talk, freedom of religion and association, freedom of the press, freedom to be you, freedom to be you, freedom to be me. I can feel your secret vibrations like our last fading song. It's time, oh, it's time to be free. I can hear your vibrations like a final human cry. Oh, it's time, oh, it is time to be way past time to be